Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Coach Christy here. And how are you today? How's everybody feeling today? Well, look where I am. I am so grateful to be back here in front of you again, right here in this very mountain. I'm in my grandma's mountain, and in the back there, that's where she used to live. And actually, in front of me is where I'm building my hut up here in the mountain. Well, my friends, welcome again to my next episode of How to Live a Good Life. Today, we're going to talk about inner management. And why is inner management important? Well, a lot of people these days, when we speak of stress, people would say, let's manage your stress. Let's manage stress. So there's always a lot of conversations about stress management. Well, my dear friends, today I'm going to share with you what my experiences are with how to manage my inner self, my emotions, my being as a person. Well, if you all know, I just went through a difficult separation. It wasn't really difficult. It shouldn't have been really difficult. The moment that my husband said to me that, can we call it good, there's something wrong, and I should have said, yeah, there is. I am not feeling great with our relationship. I'm not feeling happy as much as I want to. There's something that I'm looking for that you can't provide. Because all of those things, way back when, we had to discuss. But honestly speaking, because we live in the US for 8 years, and we were struggling there. We didn't have an easy life as a married couple. We had to go through, my husband went through bankruptcy in the past and lost everything and start over from scratch. And when I went to the US with him, we both had to start from scratch. So that was hard. I experienced camping in the farm that we actually took a loan to buy so we could start an apple farm. It was not an easy route for me going to the US and starting a life there. I had to start from scratch. So that was a lot for me as a 23-year-old girl that went there. I went there when I was 23. And living a hard life here in the Philippines and transitioning into living another hard life in the US was painful. It was painful. And when I married my husband, we were both in the time of our lives that we just had to run to each other for safety, especially for me. And he was also in a point in his life that he was starting over. So it was just a perfect time at that exact time, and we both needed each other. I loved him and I respected him, and I was really willing to make it work with him. But even so, there was always something missing, and I know that the right time would come that I would understand and he would understand, and he would let me figure it out, because he's a lot older than me and I was just younger and had no experiences with other relationships. Well, that was the tipping point in my life. The moment that I accepted the separation from him, that was my tipping point of understanding spiritual enlightenment. And when I speak of spiritual enlightenment, it is the time in your life where everything just seems so clear to you. You will have a vision of what is really for you, what is really though you know your purpose, but there's a guidance from the Holy Spirit that that's what you're gonna do in life. This is where you want to be, and you're gonna look for the love of your life. You're gonna look for the person who's going to accept you for who you are, what you are at your worst, and what you are at your best. And so I had to let go of Tom. But before it happened, I had to go through a crazy, wild, emotional turmoil that I wanted to, I feel like I wanted to just punch my husband. I feel like I just wanted to kill him. I went through those darkest moments in my life that I went really crazy. That's why my husband does not want to get back with me, because I just went crazy. I want to freaking, kill you for what you did, for loving somebody else, for liking someone else. I mean, I've done a lot of things. I've worked so hard. I've helped you through the ups and downs in our lives, and this is what's gonna happen. You're not going to fight for me. You're not going to be committed to me for the rest of your life. Well, even though I wanted that, there's also this feeling in my gut that I ought to do something different, and it's not gonna be with my husband. And I had to accept that. And little by little, you are going to accept that, and it will happen to you the moment that it will come to you. You just have to wait for the exact moment when you can say to yourself, I'm okay now. I'm happy now. And it needs prayers, and it needs constant practice. It needs, I do my journal every day. I have my journal right here with me. I just finished my journal today, and it's beautiful. And I do this every day with my left and right hand. And this is also one way of telling myself that every day is a new day. Every day is a new opportunity. And whatever circumstances that is happening around us, it's not us. It's not a definition of ourselves. A lot of people these days are wondering, how am I going to manage my stress? You don't manage your stress. You manage yourself. You manage your mind, your thoughts, you manage your emotions, you manage your energies. It is a difficult challenge, because we are not taught at school how to do this. And even myself, even though I have somehow learned this very young, because I'm a very keen and vigilant or observant person, and I'm born with that gift. That's why I'm able to succeed. I'm able to do the things that I want to do in life, because I followed a path that nobody else did. None of my siblings, none of my friends did. And that's why I got to this point in my life that now I'm able to speak to the world about my experiences, how I feel, how imperfect of a human being I am, because nobody is really perfect, and there's no life on this world that's really extraordinary every day, all the time. If we speak of feelings and emotions, people are on a roller coaster, and we're always on our ups and downs with it, because sometimes you feel low, sometimes you feel high, and even myself, I do. But the difference with trained people and untrained people is that when they feel low, it's hard for them to get out of that situation fast. Trained people like me, when there's a low time or a depressed feeling that I'm going to feel, I'm going to say, why am I feeling that? And there's a very good span of time, seconds, when you start thinking negative, that you will say, wait a minute, let's switch that off and say, you are alive, and you are breathing, and you are healthy, and you have everything in your body. All you need is right here. And what people need to think is that our mind is the most crucial factor for us to feel whole, for us to feel good, because that's where the thoughts, the negative and positive thoughts and experiences and the feelings and the emotions get in. Like, everything that's happening inside happens outside. For instance, today you feel good because you're healthy and you've eaten the most delicious food that you've been craving for, and so you feel good. You feel good because you just got really high grades. You feel good because you got promoted in your job. You feel good because your friends brought you something special, or they've celebrated with you on your birthday. You feel good because you just bought a brand new car, or you feel good because you just bought a nice clothes, or you just built your dream house. And it's all the experiences and the events and the incidents, circumstances around us that is very influential on how we feel and think inside of us. Now, what if those things are not existing? What if there's none? Could you feel good? Could you feel happy just the way you are? Just the way when you can sit, when you're just by yourself, when you're just like this. I mean, I'm pretty much in nature right now, and I feel pretty amazing because I get the best time to think, to feel good about myself, to envision a nice future for me and what I'm going to do with my life, in my next phase of my life. And again, going back to how we manage our emotions, our feelings. When there's people that are misbehaving, or when you have friends that are, not treating you nicely, when there's strangers that are not doing the right thing, they're so awful people. I mean, how do you react? I mean, do you dwell on it? Do you actually get mad at them? I mean, you will see how your energies change from being happy to being sad, to being mad, to being furious. A lot of people, especially in my family, especially myself, I went through that time that when I am challenged by my son TJ, I get furious. Like, I'm so furious, But then I always tell myself, he is just a child, and of course I'm his mom, and I should be more patient with him. Well, some parents can't say that to themselves. Some parents actually want to beat their kids to death, beat them, punch them, whatever. So we shouldn't be doing that. I used to be mad at my dad for being such a drinker. Now I don't. I just usually give a smile as long as nobody hurts me. But it took a while. It took a while for me to manage that. I used to fight back every time somebody says, "Oh, Christy is this, Christy is that." When I hear gossips and judgments, I used to, do this and do that, and I was actually, very, I confront people, frank, and I confront people. But these days, I don't waste my time anymore telling people what not and what is, So it's all, I've graduated from that feeling. I've graduated from that emotion. So it's all good. So now I want you to know that whatever you're going through right now, you can definitely manage it by practicing daily gratitude practice. Be thankful for who you are, what you are, and observe yourself. How do you get mad? How do you feel when people hurt you? And the moment and you are able to switch on and off a negative feeling and negative emotion and negative thought about yourself and others, you have now hold in your hands the power to control your thinking, the power to control your emotions. And that is your secret to living a good life, because it's not going to be about the material things that we accumulated over the course of time. It's not going to be how brand new your car is, how nice your things are. It's going to be how peaceful you can be just by being yourself without other people's help. You have to come to a deeper inner dimension within yourself that you can be happy regardless of what is happening outside. You can be peaceful regardless of what circumstances are there in front of you. You can still be untouchable. You can still be unstoppable. You can still be loved. You can still be whoever you think you are, even though the world is in the middle of chaos or war. And that is your greatest power. So I hope that you guys learn something from this video, learn from this talk. It's Coach Christy here, and I'm encouraging everyone to learn the value of inner management, the value of fixing our own emotions and not letting outside forces come into our hearts and our minds, because we are powerful human beings, worthy and deserving of such greatness, such peace, and such beautiful love. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on my next episode of How to Live a Good Life. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you and goodbye.